Well, hello, and welcome to another one of Norm's videos. Some crazy stuff and a little bit from the Bible as well. Well, the fires continue in California and over much of the West. We need prayers for rain. We really do. The computer models don't show any or very little precipitation in the West for quite a while. So we need prayers for rain. Well, if a cow laughs, does milk come out of her nose? Why don't sheep shrink when it rains? That's cute. Cotton? Okay. Why didn't Noah swat those two mosquitoes? As a gentleman was driving down the road, the light turned yellow just in front of him, and he did the right thing. He stopped at the crosswalk, even though he could have beaten that red light by accelerating through the intersection. You ever done that? The tailgating woman was furious, honked her horn, and screaming in frustration as she missed her chance to go through the intersection, dropping her cell phone and her makeup. As she was still in mid-rant, she heard a tap on the window and looked up in the face of a very serious police officer. The officer ordered her to exit the car with her hands up. He took her to the police station where she was searched, fingerprinted, photographed, and placed in a holding cell. Whew, wow. After a couple of hours, a policeman approached the cell and opened the door. She was escorted back to the booking desk where the arresting officer was waiting with her personal effects. He says, "I'm very sorry for this mistake. You see, I pulled up behind your car while you were blowing your horn, and you were throwing signs at the guy in front of you, cussing a blue streak at him, and I noticed this 'What would Jesus do' bumper sticker, and the Choice of Life license plate holder, and the Follow Me to Sunday School bumper sticker, and the chrome-plated Christian fish emblem on the trunk. So naturally, I assumed you'd stolen the car." Oh, you know those blonde jokes I tell? Blonde jokes are short so men can understand them. Yep. But I do have a blonde joke. All right. A young blonde was on vacation in the depths of Louisiana. She wanted a pair of real alligator shoes, in the worst way, but she didn't want to pay the high price the local vendors were asking. After becoming very frustrated with the no-haggle attitude of one shopkeeper, the blonde shouted, "Maybe I'll just go out and catch my own alligator so I can get a pair of shoes at a reasonable price." The shopkeeper said, "By all means, be my guest. Maybe you'll luck out and catch a big one." Determined, the blonde turned and headed for the swamps and set on catching herself an alligator. Later in the day, the shopkeeper is driving home, and when he spots the young woman standing in waist-deep water, shotgun in hand, just then he sees a huge 9-foot alligator swimming quickly toward her. She takes aim, kills the creature with a great deal of effort. She hauls it on the swamp bank, pulls it up. Lying nearby were several more dead creatures were. The shopkeeper watched in amazement, and just then the blonde takes the alligator, flips it on its back, and frustrated shouts, "Darn, this one isn't wearing any shoes either." Oh well, okay, let's get serious. Psalm 48, 1-8, and I'm going to verse 10 as well. God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. Now, most of us know this, and most of us heard it, well, way back in Sunday school. But listen to what it really means. Therefore, we will not fear, though the earth give way, wow, though the mountains fall into the heart of the sea, and though its waters roar and foam, and though the mountains quake with their surging. There is a river whose streams make glad the city of God, the holy place where the Most High dwells. God is with her. She will not fall. God will help her at break of day. Nations are in an uproar. Kingdoms fall. He lifts his voice and the earth melts. The Lord Almighty is with us. The God of Jacob is our fortress. And now I go to verse 10. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted amongst the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. We sang songs that were, be still and know that I am God. The psalmist is saying that God is our sanctuary, but also our strength. He is with us all the time, and especially in our troubles. Even if the world ends, and hey, if you watch the evening news, it seems like it's ending every night with breaking news, doesn't it? Even if the world ends, we need not fear or be afraid. The God of the universe has the ability to save us. Now, it seems impossible to consider the end of the world without becoming somewhat consumed in fear, doesn't it? But the Bible's clear. God is our refuge and strength, and he can provide that strength in any circumstances. You want me to read that again? And he can provide that strength in any circumstances. And some of you are going through difficult circumstances right now. Loss of family members, or family members who've had to be moved because of the fires, or like me, having a little trouble breathing with my asthma. When you think of rivers in the desert, what do you think of? An oasis? Do you think a place where irrigation of crops can take place? How about a respite from the heat? Jerusalem had no river, but it had God who sustained the people's lives. God is with us today and even during the COVID pandemic. And what the psalmist is saying is, he is like a river planted in the desert. There it is, the respite and the oasis. Do you remember way back when the song, He lives, Christ Jesus lives today? I'm going to keep this in your memory all day now. He walks with me and he talks with me along life's narrow way. He lives, salvation to impart. You ask me how I know he lives within my heart. Wars, destruction, pandemic, riots, demonstrations, illnesses, earthquakes, fires, and death are all inevitable. But so is God's final victory. Take time to be still and to exalt God. A reminder to you, again, this Sunday, services at Main Street at 9 a.m. and 10 a.m., at Marina at 10 a.m., and at Padre at 10:30 a.m. and 6:30 p.m. And we had 37 people there last week. Wasn't that great at Padre? I hope to see you there. God bless you and keep you, and go out and have a great week.